Today we'll be discussing Kykar Wind's Fury, or as I like to say, Kykar! She is an incredibly powerful bird wizard who creates a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying whenever you cast a non-creature spell. These spirits, or any spirits you have in play, can be sacrificed to make red mana, and so Kykar Wind's Fury lends themselves to a storm combo sort of build, and that is what my friend Ian has chosen to do. We're going to be showcasing his deck list today because I love playing against it, and I really enjoyed playing with it when he let me run a few test games. So let me show you what this deck does. Kykar Wind's Fury is a storm deck that seeks to use spells like Grape Shot or Brain Freeze, or permanents like Aria of Flame and Aetherflux Reservoir to wipe out all of your opponents at once. With combos like Isochron Scepter, Dramatic Reversal, or Underworld Breach lines using Lion's Eye Diamond and Wheel of Fortune, Kykar Wind's Fury is capable of generating infinite storm triggers in a single turn, making infinite spirits and allowing them to do pretty much whatever they want. Two cards I wouldn't consider running the build without are Skull Clamp and False Dawn. Both of these cards happen to interact particularly nicely with Kykar Wind's Fury. Skull Clamp generating just an unbeatable draw engine, allowing you not only to equip the tokens that you're making to instantly draw two cards, but you can also sack excess tokens to pay for the equip costs. So depending on what you draw, you might be able to chain through huge chunks of your deck in a single turn. And then False Dawn allows you to basically convert your spirits into any potential resource your deck might require of you, while also cantripping. It just simplifies all of your mana math and lets you go off much smoother and more cleanly. This Kykar build starts with Steam Vents, Hallowed Fountain, Sacred Foundry, Volcanic Island, and Tundra, as well as a small selection of fetch lands to help get you your mana perfect. Sunbaked Canyon and Fiery Islet help you cycle the lands that you no longer need while you're going off. With so many dual lands, Glacial Fortress, Clifftop Retreat, and Sulphur Falls almost always come into play untapped. It's rare that you ever need blue and white mana at the same time, and so the blue-white duels actually end up being the most valuable in the long run. You get a huge amount of flexibility by running extras like Nimbus Maze and Sea of Clouds. The obvious inclusion is Command Tower, of course, but less obvious is Hall of Heliod's Generosity, a spicy include that allows important rebuys on Mystic Remora in case you need a late game grind engine, or perhaps somebody interrupted Underworld Breach. You have a chance to go off again. Urza's Saga provides critical blockers for the ground floor in case Kykar is too busy up in the air doing important storm things, and being able to tutor up your Lion's Eye Diamond can be a game-breaking play. Emergent Zone allows you to go off unexpectedly on your opponent's turns. And then we keep plenty of basics around just in case the games go long. You want to make sure that you're hitting all of your land drops. Let's take a look at how Ian set up his mana base. It's always interesting to see what colors people decide are the most important when they're deck building. We're going to go with Mana Crypt, Lotus Petal, Chrome Mox, Mana Vault, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Izzet Signet and Talisman Creativity, Azorius Signet and Talisman of Progress. And then we've got Fell War Stone and a Smothering Tithe, which goes great with the wheel effects that we're running to generate card advantage. Kykar wants to see a huge number of cards every game, so of course we're running Mystic Remora and Rhystic Study. Some of the most fun turns in Kykar Wind's Fury come from the fact that you don't always know that you're going to win the game the turn that it starts to happen. You need card selection with things like Brainstorm, Preordain, Ponder, Burning Inquiry, Gataxian Probe, Frantic Search, Windfall, Jeska's Will, and Wheel of Misfortune. These cards refill your hand and let you see as much of your deck as you can, allowing you to try to chain all of these interesting and cheap spells together to keep the good times rolling. Kykar Wind's Fury just loves to keep playing the game and making sure that her turns take longer than everyone else's. Kykar Wind's Fury generates 1/1 spirits with flying. Now, because you've got a huge source of creature generation just freely happening, the creatures that you choose to run in your deck are all going to serve an important purpose. Esper Sentinel, one of the best draw engines printed in the last couple of years, gives white a lot of flexibility when it comes to powerful opening hands. Ragavan Nimble Pilferer is close behind as another fantastic red 1-drop that gives you lots of resources early on in the game. Gilded Drake across format all-star, stealing your opponent's commanders has never felt so powerful as it does in today's Magic environment. Phantasmal Image gives you rebuys or copies of any interesting creatures in play. Baral, Chief of Compliance, goes with all of the wonderful interaction spells that we've showcased so far. Dockside Extortionist, probably the most important red card in the format, generating treasure and allowing you to go off potentially turns earlier. Burgi, God of Storytelling, is an incredible asset to all Storm decks. Making a red mana every time you cast a spell can mean the difference between winning and losing a game. Additionally, we run Narset, Parter of Veils, and Teferi Time Raveler. As 3-drops, these are great little value engines to drop into play the turn before Kykar is online, and Narset, Parter of Veils, and Teferi Time Raveler really allow you to protect your Storm combo from going off. Your opponents can't dig for answers, and they can't respond. Now be aware, when playing with Teferi Time Raveler, you have to be the cops when it comes to the table. If you aren't confident that you can stop all the other players from winning with what's in your hand, then Teferi Time Raveler can be a risky proposition. While certainly nowhere near the density of Black's tutors, Gamble, Mystical Tutor, Enlightened Tutor, Merchant Scroll, and Idyllic Tutor certainly help to plug up some of the gaps in this deck's strategies. You can more reliably find the things you need, like Underworld Breach, or you can tutor up the interaction that you need to dig you out of the jam you're in. Because we're a Storm deck, Kykar Winds Fury needs games to go long, and so we max out on interaction. We're going to use Chain of Vapor, Pact of Negation, Fluster Storm, Mental Misstep, Swan Song, Dispel, Dovin's Veto, Narset's Reversal, Mana Drain, Cyclonic Rift, Muddle the Mixture, also an important tutor, Fierce Guardianship, Silence, Angel's Grace, Force of Negation, Force of Will, Swords to Plowshares, Heliod's Intervention, Red Elemental Blast, Pyroblast, and Deflecting Swat. I want to understand that I can sit down to any table and play the highest level CDH imaginable and have something to say about it. You need to set up the perfect turn in a Storm deck, and maxing out on interaction, being able to answer any variety of threat or spell on the stack, gives you the ability to dictate the terms of the game and go off when you choose. Storm decks in today's meta can be very expressive and have a lot of room for flex slots. Ian's flex slots are Vandal Blast and Savine's Reclamation because these work better in our meta. Vandal Blast takes care of all the problematic artifact decks running around, and Savine's Reclamation allows a level of redundancy with his Lion's Eye Diamond combo line, so that when people try to disrupt it, he has more ways to go ahead and restart the lines. I hope you enjoyed Kykar Winds Fury and my friend Ian's take on the Storm archetype in these Jeskai colors. Please let me know your favorite color combinations to storm off in Commander and your favorite commanders to do it. Have a wonderful time playing Command with your friends, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.